Thanks so much to War Thunder for their support in this video.
R6's favorite roster is finally back, and they might be better than ever. After a few stages apart, 4 of the 5 players from Beast Coast's Manchester Major winning lineup have reunited under the M80 banner, and fans couldn't wait to see how they'd play. That chance came in Rio at the Rainbow Six Reload event. M80 faced off against Falcons, the superstar roster including Shaiko, Nikefak, and Solotov on the Siege X version of Cafe. A revamped, fresh look at the map with new textures, environments, and movement mechanics. For years, the M80 have been on the edge of greatness. They've always had talent, always shown promise, but never quite managed to break through internationally. Now, with a new roster, that might finally be changing. Up against one of the most stacked lineups in Siege, M80 put on a defensive masterclass, showcasing some of the cleanest, most coordinated team play we've ever seen. In this video, we'll break down how they did it, highlighting the strategies and microplays which make this team great, and how you can steal their ideas to take into your own games. This is M80 versus Falcons. After some back and forth in the opening rounds, M80 head to mining and reading for round 4. This first floor site has a fully destructible ceiling above reading, so attackers usually lean into vertical takes, soft breaching the floor to force defenders back and open space to plant behind the bookshelf pillar door. To counter this, M80 commit to holding upstairs. Diffuser and Gaveni take positions top white and cocktail, denying map control and prepping to swing on anyone walking up Whitehall or Longbar. The round begins with Falcons working their way up to the roof. From there, they can push in Red Hatch, a relatively safe entry point defenders don't have any good way to contest. Solotov pushes through Cigar off a drone call that Piano is clear, but Falcons know Cocktail and Top White are heavily defended, so they use utility to give Solotov the advantage. Uses hold Skylight, while Brede sets up outside White, both playing operators built to support the entry. Grim and Ying fall into a category I like to call initiators, operators who create favorable fights for their teammates. Think Capitao, Sens, same role. And these two are about to make Solotov's job look simple.
Right now, M80 are just looking for intel. They're just looking for any shred of information they can go on, because Falcons aren't giving them much. They're still playing things slowly, playing it methodically. We're going to have the Candelas going in. Nobody's going to follow that in. It's always a little bit of a concern for me, is that one. I think if you're going to expend that utility, I always ask, what are you getting for it? What have you traded that utility for? And in this case, not very much.
So trying to force players back is the main thing they're after here. This is still, don't forget, a big focus on top floor. They've gone through nearly all the Candelas. They've had a call come out. The second one's about to come out too. If they can get away with this and stay alive, it would have been crucial. However, they did not.
Brede fires Bees into White, revealing Gaveni's position and forcing him back, while at the same time, Yuzis tosses Candelas down Skylight into Cocktail to blind Diffuser. With both defenders unable to respond, Solotov walks up Whitehall without contest. Diffuser tries to escape down the stairs, but Brede is ready, gun up on the window to take him down. Meanwhile, Likefak, holding pillar door, punishes Kino, who swings out reading. He immediately pushes into the gap, walking into sight, hunting for a second. If he finds it, Falcons are likely to take the round, but he also risks losing his life.
And now in comes the Dokumi from the backside too, trying to catch the third player, but has kept himself alive and escaped. Really good push from Falcons again. It's very measured and very slow. Gaveni, though, getting one back on the other side.
A perfectly timed swing out of Gaveni starts to bring things back, but Falcons constantly have players looking for gaps and timings. While everything was going off on the opposite side of the map, Shaiko lurks his way down red stairs, looking to stab in the back. He catches Gunner over-rotating, allowing the round to finally settle in a 4v2. With about a minute on the clock, M80 know they can't rely on time to win the round. So what can they do in this situation? Well, in Siege, when a team is down numbers, the only real option with which to progress is to attempt to lash out. Hot and Cold and Gaveni need to bring the numbers back, so they start to aggressively swing in attempts to find picks.
To win this round,
Accept information, Tim. They don't know where these last couple of players are, and they could really cause a bit of bother. Gaveni getting rid of one, knows there's a second outside, and Fireplace lines up, Hot and Cold into another.
Gavin catches Yuzis upper white before Houghton finds Shaiko continuing his lurk, suddenly equalizing the round in a 2v2. With the man count even, M80 shift gears. No more chasing picks. Now they slow it down. holding angles, and forcing Falcons to be the ones to make the next move.
20 seconds left to go, and Falcons from a 4v2 are now in a position of having to rush, having to get themselves inside a site, having to do something, anything, but they can do nothing as M80 just cut them down one after another. Hot and Cold and Gavani have given them an absolute masterclass in the 2v4. Solotov, he doesn't have the diffuser, he can't find the last man. M80 played that beautifully.
Having won the previous round, M80 move on to defending Mining and Dining, the other first floor site on Cafe. This one is defended similarly to that of Dining and Reading. M80 set up super similarly. Diffuser and Gavani upstairs, Gunner nearby for support, while Kino and Houghton anchor on site. Gavani opens on Pixel, looking to shoot a drone before falling back to White. But Falcons don't give him the chance. Solotov opens White window, catching Gavani in a forward position, and he's forced to tuck in Bathroom as BDS prepare to blitz the top floor. They set up on White Hall window and White Stairs window, spamming flashes towards Cocktail and Bathroom. This serves to blind any defenders holding the rappel, so Uzis and Solotov can safely swing in and take space.
Just for a little bit. First phone call coming out. Haven't really seen the success from those that we're used to seeing out of Falcons. And again, I think that's down to M80's game plan. They know how they use this operator, and they always have an answer. Solotov on the book, taken offline. They've still got the shield to play with, Tim, but losing that vertical destruction, that's a big deal.
Despite a beautiful setup to swing inside, Gavani peeks ahead of the flash and manages to take down Solotov on the entry. Then, he tucks inside Bathroom, while Diffuser escapes down the hatch to play his life later on. At the same time, Uzis repels in White Stairs while EFAC holds his swing from down below, and immediately starts storming across the top floor, hunting to refrag his fallen teammate. But he's greeted with nothing but empty space. See, after the chaos of the mini execute, Gavin just simply tucks inside Bathroom, where he waits, perfectly still, hoping the rest of Falcons will think he simply slipped away. Elsewhere, Shaiko goes for the lurk. Just like the last round, Falcons create chaos on Cocktail to draw defenders east, hoping to open gaps on the opposite side. This is a super important concept in high-level play, hurting the defenders as a team to create opportunities, and Shaiko capitalizes, finding a pick onto Gunner. But M80 have learned their lesson, this time playing tighter together. Kino is nearby to swing and immediately trades Shaiko out. Back upstairs, Uzis starts to suspect Gavani never left. He calls to his team, "Can we drone Piano?" But Falcons are low on info. With no drones left, Uzis is forced to face check with his shield. Likifak is outside White, so they know Gavani couldn't have escaped that way, but he might be tucked somewhere in Piano. To flush him out, they pop a dope call, aiming to reveal his position and pinch him with Uzis from the front and pressure from behind.
Again, there's always another player there. We've remarked a few times that they've had 2 or 3 players gathered together to force a trade out when they lose the first man. They just seem ready for everything that comes their way, and Falcons, it feels maybe hard, probably expecting everything that's coming at them. Bit of a dance with death here. Users getting into a 1 versus 1. But now at least, I was going to say winning it out, but no, Gavani's there for a kill. Likifak at least is nearby for a trade, but I think you'll take the 1 for 1 there, Tim.
Gavani plays it perfectly, trading 1 for 1. He manages to take down Uzis, the tip of the spear, and that's more than enough. This leaves Likifak and Brede in a difficult situation, with no way to break the crossfires the defense has established across site, leading to an easy cleanup for the defensive side.
Before hopping into this next round, I want to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, War Thunder. War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made and is now available for free on PC, console, and mobile. The game is super detailed, with one of the most sophisticated damage systems in gaming, with damage being dealt to individual vehicle components, leading to some of the most realistic combat in gaming. In War Thunder, you can take command of over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships from 10 major nations, including biplanes, armored cars, fighter jets, and main battle tanks. With War Thunder's wide array of camouflage, historical markings, and decorations for all vehicle types. Immerse yourself in the intense combat of War Thunder, with its incredibly detailed vehicles, realistic graphics, and authentic sound effects. And try out one of their 3 distinct modes, including my favorite, Realistic Mode. This game mode strips away some of the guardrails in arcade mode, forcing you to play more strategically, letting your tactical brilliance shine. So what are you waiting for? Join the worldwide community of over 70 million players in War Thunder. Sign up for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or mobile devices now by using my links in the pinned comment or video description. New and returning players on PC and consoles that haven't played in the last 6 months will also receive a massive bonus pack across all platforms that includes multiple premium vehicles, the exclusive vehicle decorator, Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium. But make sure to do it now because this offer is only available for a limited time. Thanks again to War Thunder for their support in this video, and now back into the breakdown.
I need to keep it real with you for a second. In this round, it's gonna feel like nothing happens for a long time. But that's the beauty of Siege. Sometimes the best part is the setup. So let's walk through a slow round and break down everything that goes into a pro attack. The site is top floor, and M80 lean heavily into drone and breach denial. They bring the castle to keep the cocktail windows closed, along with the mute and Tubarao to keep the castles closed in turn. Mute here actually serves double duty, working as drone denial as well, which the Mozzie synergizes with to make droning all but impossible. Finally, the Cade, aiming to keep freezer and bathroom closed, forcing attackers taking west side to push through the cigar and pixel chokes. The round starts with Falcons trying to open cocktail, but they hit mute jammers, which delay their breach, giving M80 time to reposition. It looks like Falcons want a cocktail take, but thanks to the stall, M80 shift bodies to counter the windows, and the Falcons are forced to rethink. They rotate roof, start clearing red, and walk into piano and cigar uncontested. But that's by design. M80 want to give up that space as long as they can control the chokes. Shaiko pushes up piano, but the team's plan still isn't clear. He has no hard breach to open freezer, and dry pushing pixel is a death sentence. But this is where Falcons start sinking their utility and making things possible. Shaiko is positioned to be the hammer, but he still needs an anvil to hit into. So EFAC fires bees into cocktail, then rotates to first floor to sprint up white. This lets him hit cocktail at the same time as Shaiko walks into bathroom, pinching the defense and forcing their attention to split. There's just one problem. Kino. Sitting in bathroom with a shotgun, he's in the perfect spot to stop any pixel push. Shaiko needs some kind of initiator utility to support him, but EFAC, the only true initiator, is mid-rotation bottom white. So how can Falcons proceed? The answer lies in secondary utility. When lacking a true initiator, flashbangs can do the job in a pinch. And with that final piece in place, Falcons go to execute.
They've got the hard breach of Brede on side to chew through these if they need them, but that wall remains electrified. They can't force these players back to him.
Managing to work at white stairs, Gaveni shuts down Shaiko. Lukafat is going to drop himself away. They're aware of his position. Kino manages to pick up users. It's as easy as that for Diffuser 5v1 as it all falls apart for Falcons once again.
A lockout for M80. A brilliant idea from Falcons collapses on impact. So let's take a look at why. First, Shaiko is taken down by Gavin playing anti-flash. He sits inside freezer around the corner from the flashbang blinding Kino and Bath. As soon as it goes off, he swings out, pre-firing the push from Pixel, and manages to take down Shaiko before his teammate is even dropped. And it's a good thing he does. Usus is right behind looking to trade. But Falcon's poor spacing gives Kino just enough time to recover. The flash wears off, and one shotgun blast later, Usus is down too. Elsewhere, Diffuser holds white and picks up Likefak on the push, while Gaveni, after assisting in freezer, simply flips around to hold cigar and shut down Solotov. With his entire team taken down, Brede simply makes his way up to the roof to play out the rest of a hopeless round. The side swap, and M80 now find themselves on the attack. After a round-changing 35 IQ Shaiko play to take top, Falcons decide to go downstairs for their next defense. They run a standard horizontal setup, nothing out of the ordinary, so M80 quickly take the free space and begin setting up for their execute. And they've got a plan. A prepped set piece that might be the coolest bait and switch I've ever seen. Take a look. It starts with a vertical pressure. M80 go upstairs and begin working vert across site. Signaling to FaZe, they want to drop freezer, but this is just bait. The real goal, a full team rotate to bakery. Remember the concept of pulling defenders from earlier? Falcons used it to open gaps for individual lurks, but if the rotation is fast enough, it can open up a gap for everyone. And that's what M80 are going for, with Sens, Twitch, Buck, and Blitz all positioned outside Bake. Here's the idea. They want to toss a Sense wall into Bake. Cutting off the line of sight uses holds onto the door before bucking open the prep wall and sprinting in behind the Blitz to hit directly into sight. At the same time, Diffuser smokes Red Hall and hopes in small, looking to shoot Usus in the back while he's distracted by the chaos. Will it work?
Beautiful stuff. Like you say, that's the moment that can turn around up and side down as well. You lose out in the butt there, the vertical destruction diminishes. Suddenly you're having a very different conversation, but for now they keep on going. They're in here. Tim, I love this. Completely cutting off this part of the map in its entirety, and it's been slammed inside a small bake. All the distraction that was going on through the main door has cost them here. Kino now down onto his backside, but 2 players on Falcons have fallen by the wayside. Full control to M80.
Solotov does manage to fight back, getting a big double Diffuser onto Breeder. Can Falcons find that hero moment again? 2 versus 3, 50 seconds left to go, but Kino is down, so effectively 2 versus 2. Solotov with the 3rd, and that gives Falcons a nice advantage!
A beautiful execute out of M80, but a nice 2-piece out of Solotov manages to save the round. They can't quite get it over the line, but the attacking ideas they employ shows us just how good this team can truly be. Back on basement, Falcon set up with a lineup built around utility stall. They bring Goyo and Smoke, 2 classic delay ops, making it near impossible to plant if M80 take too long with their clear. To their credit, M80 recognized this early. They know they won't have time to clear everything, so they call for a direct take. They spot just 1 defender in Bakery and look to isolate him, pick him off, and push straight in. Bakery is a power position, which skilled players can play around to make pushing into it a nightmare. It all centers around the Bakery counter, which can be peeked by the defender from countless different angles, making it impossible for the attackers to simply gun up and hold. This round, Usus is playing the position, and M80 need to find a way to remove him in order to progress in the round. And they bring along the perfect set of tools with which to get the job done.
On the Twitch door, something like a Rara panel on that door enables you to open the wall with the ace that they've got on Gaveni, and then there we go, that's exactly where they played it, and it just allows them to force that counter player out of position. They're going to have to wait until it becomes active, and then the defender needs to get close enough to be able to shoot the target, which will open it up, but it's too late. Exactly as I said, they've got that wall open now. It puts users in a sticky spot.
An excellent idea out of M80 to start taking away his space. Opening the small bake wall seriously reduces the amount of space Usus has to work with, but with Shaiko's position Harry Potter, it's usually impossible for attackers to easily open. See, Shaiko has line of sight directly onto the small bake wall, so if M80 were to simply throw hard breach, he could easily shoot it off. But M80 come up with a genius play. They use Ralra to block the door to small bake, cutting Shaiko's angle off completely and giving them wall for free. Next, M80 simply need to make Usus move while holding his position from small window and bake door, cutting him off as he tries to escape. And with the Capitao bolt sat in the pocket of hot and cold, it should be rather simple to take him down.
Well, the Vulcan Canvas has gone off, which will delay a little bit of time inside of there too. Trying to do what they can to hold on, but everything's been blown open now. Sure enough, that Rara has been opened up. Just waiting for their go sign here. Sure enough, they step in. I don't think they expected Juices to get the cross that he has here, and he's got away with it. Unlucky with the Kiva. Being challenged here as well, not yet taken down. But my God, is he wasting a lot of time and hitting a delicious 2K. Hot and cold going. Gonna finally in with the trade.
A blunder from M80 as Usus sneaks to front bake. He finds 2 before getting traded, but the damage is done. Shaiko follows it up by frying Kino swinging small window, and just like that, it's a 4v2. M80 are at a disadvantage, but Falcons are spread thin. They haven't had the chance to reset or reposition after the fight, and M80 know it. They press forward, hoping to catch isolated players and bring back the round.
But the numbers are with Falcons once again, Tim.
Users certainly serving up some delicious treats from the bakery counter for the Falcons fans. Absolutely decimating M80's attack. He would not be moved. 2 versus 3 then. It's Breeder, Shaiko, Leakifac that now just need to hold on. They've got a minute left to go. They have a numbers advantage. They can just hold their positions. They've even got 1 above. This is going to be really tough for M80 from here. They know that there's 1 inside of court check. That much would have been pretty much presumed, but Falcons have given them a freebie. Shaiko, he strays into the line of sight of Gunnar, 2v2.
In the chaos, Gunnar picks up Solotov, then just keeps pushing. He reads correctly that Falcons want to regroup, giving up space towards sight. And just as Shaiko rotates up red to avoid being cut down from small, Gunnar is already holding brown, where he catches Shaiko on the way back down. Falcons have given up sight, wanting to play for the plant to come through before starting their retake. The idea here is that as bomb is going down, they'll have a good idea of where the remaining attackers are, making it less likely for one of them to be caught off guard. With the time ticking down, M80 are forced to plant. Gunner tucks while Diffuser covers, and as they do, Falcons start their retake. Nikifak pushes out of coat towards small, while Brede walks to cross kitchen. For their part, M80 hold tight from Bake, trying to stay close to each other, ready to trade.
And now that Diffuser's down, everything turns on the other side. Brede had 2 smokes in pocket. That is... Oh, you can't let that happen, Tim. They've slipped up here. They've let M80 grab the bag here, and they might be able to run away with it in round 11.
You can just see at the minute Likapak is kind of struggling. Which way does he go? Does he come to Wedding? Does he push back into site? He's really not sure. Brede just trying.
Brede gets across kitchen, making it to prep and taking down Gunner. Now, it's a 1v2. Diffuser's in a brutal spot, but he makes an unbelievable call to reposition inside the site. He ducks into kitchen, hugging the counter to force 1v1s, and with so little time left on the Diffuser, the pressure is on Falcons to take the fight.
Force them back and does. Beautiful use of the stalls to provide cover. Gets the shotgun shot, and now it's all up to Diffuser to hold on. He's got to go 1v2. He switches to the pistol. He gets one. Surely he can't do another. No, he can. Diffuser wins it out with a pistol. 1v2. Unreal from him.
Again, thanks to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Play it for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or mobile now by using my links in the pinned comment or video description. Reminder that new and returning players that haven't played in the last 6 months will also receive a massive bonus pack across PC and consoles, including multiple premium vehicles and other goodies. This offer is available for a limited time only, so make sure not to miss it.